You see your friends all up above, and
I'm just over my head over the like the side of the boat, shaking my head. Like,
and Ringo calls down to you. He's like, "Come aboard,
Thank you, Captain.
lead the goblins."
I'd like to talk about that, Captain Ringo.
You guys are, it's like a good 30 feet or so between you and him. Um, so do you go aboard?
I will, yeah.
All right. So you leave all the goblins down below, I assume, or do you take anybody up with you?
I'll leave it all down for now, but is there a way to like attach? I mean, I assume the longboat's like floating next to the ship for now.
Yeah, they're currently like grabbing on, like trying to grab on for the like a rope ladder.
Okay.
And so you start to climb up, and one of the goblins starts to climb up behind you. Naturally.
I do the hand like wait motion. Like for now, wait. I'm going to talk up there. They don't like, and I do like the neck motion. You. So.
Can you make me a persuasion check?
I will. Oh no. 4.
Okay. So.
Oh, actually, that's a +5, so 9.
So you think he gets to him. And you start climbing. You're another 10 feet up.
Uh-huh.
And you look back and he's climbing again.
I'm like, all right. Is it Jimmy?
No. It's just one of the other goblins. It looks like they're like, they're freaked out being out in the open ocean, so they're just trying to get off.
I kind of shrug and let him come up behind me because I'm like, well, they'll just throw him off worst comes to worst. But I'll make sure he stays behind me as he climbs up. Like, I'll make sure no one gets between him and me.
Yeah, you definitely climb faster than he does.
Yeah.
So you make your way to the top. The first thing you see is Ringo's hand coming over the side to help you up over the edge.
I'll take his hand.
He, clasps your forearm and brings you up. Good to see you alive again.
Well, good to see you, Captain Ringo. It's been a fucking shit show. I don't know if you've seen the news lately.
Oh. He looks to the north. Oh, we saw. We're running.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've been filling him in as well.
Yeah. No. Something.
It's like Stone.
So if you want to bring those
we got a problem.
Goblins aboard, we can get going.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Oh, what?
So
why not?
Like I told little guy and young guy, goblins ain't coming aboard this ship.
What? Why no goblins? They haven't done anything wrong. They're just running from the mayhem like we are.
Yeah.
I was thinking
we could just unpredictable little shits like that'll burn this place to the ground.
I was thinking we could just bring them further down shore and just drop them off somewhere a little bit safer, just because the frost line is on our asses.
Nope.
Not a day's travel and then just drop them off on shore?
Well,
wasted.
We can go with the deal we discussed before.
Which was?
1,000 a head.
For a day's travel.
Well, 1,000 a head, I'll let them on board.
Well, we don't have that kind of scratch.
I don't trust goblins,
Ringo, and I respect your distrust. It's a strange thing to see a goblin. I can assure you these are, as if you can believe me as much as you can. I don't expect you to, but these are as trustworthy as goblins can be. They've been rather kind to us and have helped us in the past, as I'm sure the others have told you. But we'll also throw in the sheep. I'm sure they wouldn't mind using that as payment for a little travel, and we can do
a sheep in payment.
Well,
you know what?
We'll knock down the 7,000. Can we do 200 a head for the day's travel just to drop them off down shore? And the sheep.
No. We can trade the sheep for the longboat.
Oh,
we'll take the 2 sheep. They can keep that longboat.
Well, I don't have any way of communicating that to them. So I guess you can pull up the boat, grab the sheep, and then just lower the boat with them again.
Yeah, was that a deal?
I turn to the others.
He looks around the group.
I'm like, how do you feel about that? We can leave them our rations so they can at least survive at sea for a few days. And
Seems like the best option we have.
yeah, it seems like the best way for everyone to survive.
He offers a hand for a handshake, Viz.
Viz will he'll clasp his forearm and smack him on the shoulder.
All right. He's like, all right, boys, you heard him. And two of the guys start to just like descend down the ropes, like knocking the goblins. Like the goblins start to jump out of the way, into the water. They proceed to. You guys watch from the railing, and they proceed to just get to the bottom and like wrestle the sheeps away from the goblins, and then like cut the ropes and just kick the boat off. And like hoist the sheep up like over their shoulders and start to climb up with them.
Viz will gather a pouch, just like grab a pouch from his many extra pouches he has, and like fill it with a few rations, and like kind of hand it out to the others to put some rations in.
All right, is anybody going to join in feeding the soon-to-be departed goblins?
Yes,
You mean by departed? You mean dead, right? Because you've killed these goblins.
I did not say
These
that.
goblins. Yeah, I will give 2 rations to the cause, as I can probably find some.
Foul?
I will give all my rations.
Aw. How many rations do you have?
Let me check real quick.
I only think I had 3.
I had 5, but I only put in 2.
Are you trying to be holier than thou, Val Ewan?
I had 10.
You throw in all 10.
Oh.
All 10.
All right.
All right.
And I'll also include a couple of flasks of drinking water, obviously.
Ah, okay. I was gonna wonder if anyone was gonna put some drinking water out there. Just be, here's a bunch of food.
Yeah, no water in this sea of undrinkable water.
All right. So, a few of the goblins try to resist,
Of course they do.
and they're swimming over, trying to climb up, and as Ringo gives the order for the boat to turn south, the crew members are moving the sheep into the hold, putting them with like the other couple livestock that they have, and 2 of his men are just sort of hanging on down on this rigging, just like kicking the goblins away.
Oof.
Just like, get out of here, just like kicking them back. And within a couple minutes, you guys leave the goblins, sort of the 7 of them in one boat. They have a bunch of supplies and stuff. They fit in that boat. But they don't know how to row very well. So they're sort of kind of getting their stuff together. As you guys just see them starting to fade a little bit behind you, lost in the wake behind the boat.
Oh, God.
Why do we always find the hangers-ons? Anyone?
I don't know.
Anyone?
Well, I mean, hopefully they survive. It'd be great to find them in a year as, like, pirate
I'm surprised
goblins.
we found that group now. I thought they would have been dead way before now.
You think the elves will kill them?
Probably
I didn't
Sink
even
the
think
ship.
about that. Yeah.
sink the ship before it even
Just
has a chance.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully they get to shore.
So the Rancid begins to set sail. After, a little bit, Ringo's gonna approach you guys. And he's like, so what happened up there? I mean, we saw the dragon
Well,
fleeing for our lives from those godforsaken elves. No offense.
White dragon, huh?
we realized when we got
Did-
into Stormtop pretty early on that the Harvest Festival, they were going to hide a ritual within it. And immediately we realized we had to prevent it. And I don't know if
What
you
kind of ritual? Like a
Well, did you see the demon
Like a holy
that
thing?
emerged from the portal?
Yeah,
the
demon.
dragon? Yeah.
No.
There was also a demon
Demon.
that was several stories tall, made of fire.
demon.
What do you mean, like horns? He gives like the
Yeah.
Yeah,
really?
Yes.
yeah.
The Frostline summoned a demon at using the Stormtop Harvest
Actually,
Festival.
actually, Van Duren was thrown into a magical pit
That's true.
No way.
and became a demon.
That did happen.
Mm.
Well, not necessarily.
Can
We
you
don't
make
know
that a
if he
persuasion
did.
check?
We don't know if that's entirely true.
I mean, it is.
No, not
well,
that you're lying, but can you make me a persuasion check? Because the kind of stuff that you guys are telling this guy is not.
Can I
Okay,
make the
so
check?
I mean, you can also try to make the check.
Yeah,
It's one of
I
those
will.
things where, like, it's the stuff that you're telling him. All right,
is
he believes it a little
farcical.
bit more. He believes it somewhat. I'd say
Oh,
50-50 because.
Just because the gnome says it's got to be fucking crazy, right?
Well, I mean, you
Well-
do turn into creatures.
That's
Yeah, yeah. I got hit by a
actually,
group.
Tommy, that's a. I keep forgetting it's a +5. That's a 19. That's it.
So
Well, what?
he doesn't. It doesn't seem like he fully buys the story.
I
He's
don't
like, he understands that there's like shit going on, but he's like demons, people turning into demons. Like,
So I have a wait.
Well, I mean,
Real
you've
quick.
seen me
You said you
use-
saw. You said you saw the dragon though, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
What
that-
color
and-
was it?
I mean, it looked kind of gray.
Was there anybody riding it?
I don't know.
A hooded figure?
Oh, so you saw it from a distance.
Yeah, and we fled.
Well, yeah. I mean,
'Cause
I've
that's
only
fair.
heard of dragons in
It-
storybooks, man.
It
It's-
breathed. It breathed.
Ice.
Well, the guy who was on top of it shot a fireball at those two, and I point at Walden and Faluan.
And then the dragon proceeded to breathe ice upon other things in the surrounding area.
And then everybody started fleeing Stormtop. And then I turned into a giant spider and stuck Van Duren by the stuck Van Duren to
That's where he starts to lose you. He's like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What? You just saw me turn from a shark into a gnome on the side of your boat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Well, so we can
Oh.
use magic, Ringo. I'm sorry to let the cat out of the bag. And
No, I mean, we kind of assumed there was something weird going on before. I mean, I'm just not aboard my ship, okay?
we'll do it to defend your ship, like we did with
Well,
the
I-
squid.
And I just gave you the ability to breathe water just in case
Yeah,
you
I mean,
fall off the ship
I'm
for
just,
the next
I
24
don't really, I
hours.
don't really trust it.
Speaking
no
of which,
offense.
I'm gonna start performing that ritual on our group.
Well, Ringo, I am gonna say, I can't promise I won't use magic to stop people from destroying your ship.
Oh, as long as it's in defense of the ship.
Yeah.
Or offense in defense of the ship,
Well,
right?
yeah, you know, in case we need to do a little something, something.
Yeah, but liability.
Yes, no, I'm with you. The legalities are just mind-boggling. There's really no
I
way.
didn't know there was legalities of being pirates, but that's
Well,
thought it was more
here's
of
the
a
legalities of
code
being
of.
a pirate.
I thought it was more
You
of
see
a
those
code
ships
of
on the
honor.
horizon?
Yeah, we need to legally get the fuck away from them. I understand that.
Yeah, we've sort of run afoul of the elves in the past.
Ooh, yeah, they're not gonna be happy meeting us on the high seas then.
Yeah, so
Are we faster?
oh, definitely.
Good.
Much faster. So that leaves into the sense you guys are a little early.
Hmm.
Yeah, because of the goings on at Harvest Fest in Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just glad
And there
you
was
guys
a little
were
bit
here.
of trouble. So here's the deal. We've got our next port of call. And I'm headed to the Arches.
Yeah, that's where we're headed to, actually.
Now, I know we had made a deal, and I said that I was going to take you guys back to Old Bellows. But I'm not making port there.
I think we can skip that. I don't know if we really need to go back to town. Oh wait, don't
If
we
you need me to
from
drop
Walden?
you, if you need me to drop you off in the port, I'll anchor myself about a mile offshore. You can take one of my dinghies in. But putting anchor down there, going through customs and stopping. There's a lot of people fleeing the north. There's some elves hot in our tail.
Yeah, let's
I'm not going to
not
risk
go.
that.
Yeah, let's keep going. Going is good. Going. With the going. Are you good with the going, Faluan?
Well, yeah, Fal,
I am
to
good.
finish your business, do you have to go back to Old Bellows?
I am actually not quite sure of that.
That's the only thing that would stop me. Walden
So,
may have some.
Fal, I'll let you know that was part of your deal. Was that you were supposed to return to, what was his name?
Old Bellows.
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name. Paul?
Walden would not be
Ollie?
cool with us not stopping at Old Bellows.
Well, the deal was that you were supposed to return to him once the task was completed.
The message was sent.
Now, I'll also say, you also have the feeling that it's like, shit's not how you thought it was going to be left.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
We
it's
definitely sent a
entirely up to
message.
you. It's entirely up to you guys what you want to do on that.
Well, I mean, I have no, I have no game in that. That affects me in no way. So I have no qualms.
You do
skipping.
have a little bit of standing with the
I would-
Cerulean,
I-
right?
Yeah, but I didn't.
I would
wasn't
rather
on
not
that
go
job,
back
though.
to Old Bellows. If it's all the same to you, Faluan, I think they'd understand, and I think you sent your message. You might have even kneecapped her, or Walden did. I'm pretty sure I saw her laying in a pool of her own blood, bleeding from the knee down.
Is there a way we can
So-
send a message to Old Bellows as we're passing by to tell them
Once I
that
get-
we're headed
once I
to the
get my-
Arches and we'll meet an agent there to complete business?
Well, once I get my feather token back, I'll be able to. And that probably will be sometime around us flying by, or sailing by
Old
Uh,
Bellows.
Old Bellows, depending on if Calidorus was there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we may want to use that as an option, sending a message that we're going to have to forward the progress of the mission along a little bit.
How far away are we from Old Bellows, Tom? 2 days?
Yeah, a couple days.
Okay, so we have time to think on it.
But yeah, for now, Captain Ringo, that's fine if we're skipping past Old Bellows. We may want to do a quick flyby, just slow down a mile outside just for, an hour.
Well, you'll have to let me know now, because our course would change.
We're gonna have to do a flyby of Old Bellows to send a message, but we won't have to stop.
Actually, we will have to make a stop.
No,
Let us
because
stop.
if we stop, we're not getting back on, Foul. That's the deal.
This train don't stop.
So we're either staying on the boat or we're getting off at Old Bellows and we're finding another way to the Isles of Verdun and the Arches.
Which just so happens where Captain Ringo is said he was headed, both to the Arches and then
Yes,
the
and I'd
last
rather
port of
not.
call being the Isles of Verdun.
I'd rather not pass up on this opportunity to do a night of shopping in Old Bellows.
That is fair. And what did you say? A train? What is a train?
That's true. Yeah, what the fuck's a train?
That's what we call it.
Trains exist, don't they? I mean,
Not in
it's
this
the
world.
Wild West.
Yeah.
Wild
Trains are
steam-
just starting.
Oh, are they? We're
Steam
getting
engines?
trains? Okay.
Yeah, trains are like a new thing. He'll tell you guys about the new technology he's seen.
Well, I mean,
That
Viz
is
would have known about
recently
trains
being-
if there's trains.
Apparently not.
Wow.
So he tells you about the new fair that took place. That Viz, you were apparently unaware about this new invention.
Oh, yes, the steam
He starts to
engine?
he starts to describe steam power, and Kenny, you're like, my father thought of this.
Wait, so wait, like literally this has just been invented?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Viz is like losing
Yes.
his shit. He's like, a steam-powered engine. Brilliant.
I'm pretty sure my dad has a patent on that dating back like 10 years. Is it just coming into, or wait, hold on, 10.
He's
How
like,
many
yeah,
is that in human?
not designed by any
Human
sort of a
years is-
gnome.
I've seen similar things, but have used magic as the catalyst for power. But to use condensed steam, that's rather intuitive.
Well, my father always thought it was kind of crazy that we had so much water on the Earth and it had so much stored energy as steam that, he was like, why not just use it,
The reading rainbow. Mitchell
Precisely.
moments.
So you guys are on the boat.
On the
It's
boat headed
evening.
southbound.
You guys are headed southbound.
Evening. Okay.
It's evening now. So Ringo's gonna ask you guys one more time for clarification. He's like,
I don't think
Yeah.
we should stop.
he's like,
Take
okay,
us
so
through.
we're going to the arches.
Can we do a flyby but no stop? Is that an option?
I mean, I'd really rather not.
All right. Well, we'll find a way to send a message without having to get too close.
Like I said, by the time we should be passing, we might get my feather token.
Or you could just, turn into a dolphin or something.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, I mean,
do
he's
all
not
the
going to
legwork.
follow. So I mean, what I'm trying to get at is he's telling you that like in order to flee as fast as he wants to, he's not looking to go down the coast. He's
Yeah, we're
looking
headed out
from
to
where
sea
you are.
and
Yeah, you guys are headed out to
booking
sea
it down.
and then south.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we
So
have
we'll
ways
go
we
to,
can send a message.
He brings you guys into his captain's quarters,
Ooh.
and
I
pulls
always
out
like a captain's quarters. I'll pack like a big pipe and like pass it to him and
yeah,
sit
and
down,
on his desk is a map of Kel.
Speaking of big pipe, audience, smoke them if you've got them. Here at
Smoke 'em
Quest
if you got
Hooks,
'em.
we are.
Oh yeah, let's take a little quest hook break. Not even for any time, just
Say hi to everybody. We have Angel of Flight in now. We have Lurks, Hunster, and Commander Root are still watching. Great to have you guys still here. Hope you're enjoying the show. We are now aboard. The history of this boat, Captain Ringo, had helped us in the past, and we've since formed some agreements with him where he'll help us. He's a bit salty, but has a heart of gold. I'm glad you're enjoying it so far, Hunster. We are very glad you guys are here paying attention.
yeah. What's up, guys? All right, so back to the time at hand. Brings you to his captain's quarters.
How
This
intimate.
map is laid out.
It's
It's like there's a lot of rugs.
Ooh.
That's it. That's one of those things that you're like, this place is kind of nice, and then you're just like, there's just a lot of rugs, and a lot of
Like
pillows
rolled
and
up or
stuff.
laid
No,
out?
like all just like on top of each other, laid out all over the place.
Remember that
it's like
place
if you
where
were
we smoked hookah, Tom, in Montclair?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Got
So
it.
it looks like someone took like an Oriental rug store and just knocked all the rugs all over the place and threw a bunch of cushions on top of them. So like you could literally sit anywhere, and it would be relatively comfortable, especially with the rocking of the boat and everything like that. Sitting in a chair is not the easiest thing. So he points out to you guys. I'm going to zoom in on mine a little bit. Where you guys are, just off the coast here, just south of this little purple dot. That's south of Stormtop. And he says, normally if I was traveling to Old Bellows, I would cut out into the ocean a little bit and then sort of point our boat straight south for this point here, which they call the Barren Point. And then we would hook around the Barren Point, and it's safest to stay within the harbor here, within this little bit of an inlet. It's kind of like a bay, and then navigate down toward Old Bellows.
Well,
But
Captain,
since
it's a
we're-
good thing we're not going there.
Right, but since we're going to the Arches, the best way to travel is basically to cut all of that off. And I will draw exactly. So they would go straight out to Pine Point, which is all the way at the end here. And then they would hug the coast south, straight down to the Arches. So there are some points where once you guys have passed Old Bellows or things like that you feel like you'd be able to send some messages or something like that if you have birds or anything like that.
So that point would be around here-ish, as we're passing by around here.
Yeah, somewhere when you're outside the bay. So
When Kenny's around, I'm always with Bay.
let's do some measurements. We look at the bottom here. let's get the turn order out of the way. Oh, I don't want to snap to anything. No snapping. So,
Don't
100
shoot
miles is about 25 feet in our distance here. So,
Call it 50.
call it 50. So 200
miles.
miles.
Wow.
And then what? Maybe 50-ish, somewhere around there, south. So let's look up real quick how fast this ship moves.
Yeah, what are the boat speeds? And I really have to stop talking like that when I'm not doing biz.
You can do that. You can talk like that the whole time. I'm down with that.
It's just Viz voice now. I find myself doing it around friends and
People.
family now, and it's a problem. Like,
Is it really?
Well,
Is
I
it
mean, I'm
really,
assuming
Viz?
it's annoying for other
Let's
people.
be. Well, what the hell do they know? I mean, maybe that's who you are now, you
Yeah.
know?
I sexually
This is how I
identify
identify.
as an English wizard.
Or not even sexually. Just, well, I mean, you could just identify as an English wizard, you know?
An English.
The
elven
English
wizard.
people are probably very confused because your accent isn't,
It's
you know,
terrible.
100%
Yes, it's
English.
completely unauthentic.
You know,
All right, I just need to look this up.
There's-
So
I'm
just
sure
give me
many
a second.
idiosyncrasies I'm missing.
I don't know why this. Oh, here we go. Vehicles. Boom. Pickety boom. So water vehicles. You guys are being chased by a warship.
A
and
warship
you-
or two warships?
Ooh, two warships.
Or
And
is
you
that
guys-
two warships and a pack of griffins?
and
Well,
you
the
guys
Griffins
are
aren't
on
going to
a
go that
long
far
ship.
out from the warships.
We don't
So
know
you guys
that.
are on a long ship.
It'd be kind of
I
suicide.
think.
Well, yeah, I
I think you're on a
remember.
long ship.
Yeah, so they're not. Yeah, there's like a longboat and a galleon.
Yeah, I don't think I don't. Well, there's a galley, there's a keelboat, there's a long ship, there's a rowboat, sailing ship, warship. I think you're in a long ship.
Yes, that would make the most sense. Not a sailing.
75-foot boat with oars, total crew of 50. Maybe that's too
I
big.
was gonna say sailing ship has a crew of 30, 80 feet long but only 20 feet wide, 100 tons cargo.
Not a keel. Maybe it is a sailing ship. I think it's a sailing ship.
And it does 5 miles per hour or 120 miles a day.
Sailing ship. Where do you have that?
I just found online of Ships and the Sea. It's an unearthed arcana for D&D 5th edition. But
Because my Roll20 rules compendium says different.
oh my
Let me look at. Let's see if D&D Beyond can do it for us.
D&D Beyond.
Sailing. Oops. Sailing ship. Equipment.
Yeah, so a warship is just as fast as a longship. Or a sailing ship. And a galley is faster than a longship and a sailing ship.
What about a
So
pirate
we're
Can you
ship?
share this,
we're
John?
probably on the
So I can-
galley and they're warships.
Yeah, I wish we were
Right.
on a galley. No, a galley is like a massive warship with like, 2 rows of cannons and 5 sails and...
So you're looking at which? Oh, here we go. There's one on D&D Beyond. Galley is a long vessel that relies on sails. A sizable rowing crew to move. Longship is a vessel that relies on a rowing crew and sails to move. Sailing ship are fast-moving, focused on travel. Sailing ship details. Creature capacity, 30 crew, 20 passengers. That's the size of the ship.
Yeah.
It's a sailing ship. Movement speed. I'm only seeing 45 feet. How much per day?
45 feet around?
Yeah.
Damn. Kagero runs faster than a ship.
Ships are not actually that fast.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, knots, the way that they're measured, like, a knot is slower than, I think, a mile per hour.
Oh, I have no idea.
Or things, like, just move at slower knots. Like, to go at 30 knots is, like, an incredible speed for a large ship. I don't know. Does anyone in chat know about boat
Yeah, right?
physics?
Vehicle.
Help us out
that's-
here.
that
We're
would be the
talking
best
like
thing.
idiots.
All right. Come on, D&D Wiki. Maybe you... John, did you share that link before?
Oh, did you want to see that, the Unearthed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pop that in Discord. There you go. I guess I'll put it in Roll20 too. But it has like full battle stats for each of the ships, which is nice.
And where does it have the speed?
So each ship, it says underneath traveling pace. It says 5 miles per hour, 120 miles per day. But I don't know what that translates to in...
Where is that? Travel pace. Oh, I see it there. Let me see if it has it on this other thing.
One of these days,
Travel
Kenny,
pace.
we'll get an airship, and then we'll rule the skies.
So,
One of these days, I'm just gonna turn into a giant eagle and fly away.
Well, not all of us have that luxury.
so
I guess technically I'll be able to
how
fly.
fast? Did you see how fast the warship went?
Yeah, the warship goes faster.
4 miles an hour.
Oh, 4 miles an hour. So
96 miles per day. It should move slower
It-
than you guys.
does, but the galley
Yeah.
moves faster.
But you guys are in a sailing ship.
Right, but are they on galleys or warships?
They're in warships.
Oh wait, the galley moves slower as well. So yeah, the sailing ship is the fastest one with wind.
Yeah, which
obviously.
makes sense because you guys are in a pirate ship.
Arr.
So we're gonna say, let's calculate it at about 100 miles a day, because you're not in the best of sailing ships. You're in sort of a
I mean, if
you
120
remember-
is the average pace, I feel like that's taking into account the good and bad.
yeah. I'm
So 100 miles a day. That's gonna make it 2.5 days to get to.
We have 300 miles. Oh no, like
Or so.
270 or something.
yeah. So given the most favorable conditions.
How can we all? I asked the captain, how can we all aid in our travel? I'll continue to cast water breathing as a ritual on as many people as I possibly can on the board the ship, just in case we do engage those awful elves and have to walk around in the bottom of the water for a while.
That would be wonderful. I think that sounds like a pretty good deal. I mean, my men can always use a hand from anyone of strength. I mean, Falyuan, your leg doesn't look so great.
It has seen better days. At least I can still cook.
All right. Viz, what about you?
I'm not quite sure what will. I mean, I can help around the ship, but mostly I'm going to try and get in contact with Jake to let him know that I'm going to be coming to the Arches a little earlier than planned. I don't know if I have.
Do you have the spell message?
I do, but that doesn't go very far.
Let's check out message.
It's 120 feet. Let's see. Yeah, I have no way of contacting him, I guess. I mean, I guess I'll just show up early and knock on his door. Hopefully he'll be home.
And not dead.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the fear. Maybe it'd be best not to try to contact him just in case someone's there.
Somebody's waiting for him.
Yeah.
Or you.
Or, yeah,
or
he's
us,
there, and then we'll then know to wait for us.
Let's see if this is a...
But that's paranoid.
Oh, you think? You think that's a little paranoid right now?
Yeah, but we're
With all
not...
the information we know.
Yeah, but they
with
don't
the
know
things that we
us,
know.
really.
And,
None of them really
no,
got
but
a
they
good
know
look
that.
at us.
But they do know that what he knows is what everybody wants to know.
What? Who? Oh,
right?
Jake.
Yeah, he's the only other one who read the book other than Caldorius.
Yeah, but not everyone knows that information. I
yeah,
mean,
but now the dude who was in Corvée knows that information, right? We can assume he got it out of Jake, right?
did he?
Because he's the head
he's not the head of the Enclave.
in Corvée. Yeah, he is.
Did we meet an Enclave guy in? Well, but he might not be the traitor. I mean, I suspect, but.
So you think the guy in Corvée who also sent this guy Jake
To get
and
the
you
information in a city that is
and
now being
this
occupied by.
who is currently
Cross line.
also holding a Davari,
Is he?
wouldn't...
Oh.
Yes.
No, he doesn't have a Davari.
Yeah, he does. Well, according to Caldorius, he does.
When
Hold on. I pull out my little notebook, and I start thumbing through it, and I go back to like closer to the beginning of it. I'm like, let's see. The Davari. 4 other Davari. Located the 4 Davaris. Mathican Rest, there's an emerald. Barian von Nostra has the sapphire. The amethyst was at Elisul Sulari, but it went to Verdun. That's why we've got to go to Verdun. And where's the other one? Southwestern Virginia developed blue. Nope. Where's the other one? Amethyst of Dazish.
the purple one. Yeah, I don't think he has one.
Yeah, I don't think that one's accounted for, Joe.
Yeah, that one's still floating. I think that may actually be in the Elven lands.
I think as far as
there's the emerald that's at Mathican's Rest.
as far as possession goes,
Barian has the sapphire.
yeah. So he allegedly has the sapphire. We know Cal has one, and then there is
Cal
a
has
tribe.
the ruby.
And then there's a tribe on the Isles of Verdun that has another. But as far as the Enclave having one, I don't think I don't think that's something that
Yeah,
we
no, the Enclave
know.
don't. They just have information about them. They have the book.
Hmm.
So they know the origin of them, but that wouldn't necessarily mean they know where they are now.
Wait, but that's for.
But
other-
if Barian
Ruby,
has one, if it is
Ruby,
indeed
so
Barian
there are
as a
5.
lich, then I'm sure he has
There
the
are-
power to find the others.
4 other Davari, because Caldorius has the Ruby, so that's Ruby. Then there's the Zafir. Yeah, Zafir from in Corvée from the Enclaves has the Topaz. Zafir's the guy who sent you to Ulusil Lunari, right?
Is it? Let me
It
check
is.
my. It is. Well then.
All of this is correct.
My God. All right. So
Ah.
he.
Exactly what Kenny is saying is correct.
See, I told you I wasn't crazy.
So he has.
That doesn't mean we believe you.
Yeah, that's. Just.
Zafir has the Topaz,
So.
and he wanted the information from Jake about what was in the book to know where the rest of them are. So
Well,
he'll
that-
probably.
I mean,
have...
that's exactly the reason. I mean, Zafir sent you guys to retrieve that book.
Yeah, and Caldorius sent us there.
Well, Merrick brought you
Well,
guys
and
there.
if Zafir has one, even if he's not working for the Frostline, the Frostline has taken over Corvée, and he's in Corvée still. So,
Or he's somewhere walking around with the Topaz.
which
He has the Topaz.
That would
as
be-
far as Caldorius knows, Zafir had the
if
Topaz
he's
in
if
Corvée.
he's walking around with it, it would be very easy to sense as a magic user. So, you know, he'd get found pretty quickly.
I mean, I would say one thing about that is I don't know if you'd be sure about that because
Sensing
you've
it?
never seen one of these things before. Yeah, you don't know exactly what it is.
Well, Viz is going to assume if they're as powerful as everyone's saying they are, they would have to give off a hell of an aura.
right, but also Caledorius had one in Old Bellows, and you didn't know.
My God. That's true.
Mother of God.
Well, I never
Yeah,
checked. Also, I never did like I'm gonna look for a stone arcana check.
But you weren't. You weren't like immediately aware. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
It's not like a thing popped into my head like there's a
Right. You
fucking
weren't like,
stone nearby.
whoa! It wasn't like a. It wasn't like a bomb went off where you were just
Right.
like, holy shit! What's that magical aura? Like bursting through.
Well, then
like-
yeah, I guess he could just have.
So
it on
I
him.
would just say that you're not sure about that. Like that might be the case, but
Well, also
Then
there
again-
have
As far
been
as-
a history. There's been examples of cases that can, disguise or hide
Right.
magical auras.
As far as Caldorius knows,
So
Zafir has the Topaz in Corvée.
Do we?
The other one's in Mathigan's Rest. The other one, Barry and Von Nostra has, and it's in the Thundering Wood.
So I guess we go to
north
Corvée after Verdun to try and get the Topaz if it's still on, Zafir by the time we're
Well,
done with the Isles of Verdun.
Or we go to the Mathigan's Rest and try to get the emerald from the Force of Natures that guard it.
I mean, that would be fun. We could do either.
I don't suppose you can just ask him for it.
Well, I would rather get it away from someone than find one that
Sentient
isn't being possessed.
Treason Fey, Ancient Tome of Mathigan.
I'd rather get the one away from Zafir. Not that I don't trust him, but I don't trust him.
well, also
guess
you
that
know
would-
that Merrick and Quinn were sent there.
Right.
Yeah,
That's fair. Maybe
but
they have it under
it's
control.
been overrun by the Frostline, and they're
Sure.
not really the most,
Well, I mean,
what do you
Merrick
call,
can
friendly group?
get by pretty
Well, we could
sneakily.
postulate on this later. We should make action.
Oh, so
head south.
Viz, the spell that you were
Uh,
looking for is called Sending.
Yes. I don't know.
Did you have? I seem to remember you had possession of another wizard spell book, right?
Oh, I have 2 books I can just pull out of my ass as needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Can I
So,
pull out my
you
ass
can
a
do it.
spell book for
You're like, motherfucker, I don't have a spell. And I asked you guys initially before we got into this conversation, what were you planning on doing
Mm.
to help get through this. And you were like, well, I need to come up with some sort of a spell to use.
Yes.
So I imagine you start pouring through your books and you find this spell sending, where you're like, oh, like one person I know I can send a message to. It can't be more than, I think, 25 words.
Yeah, you have to
Let
be
me read up
real clever with your wording.
So you send a short message of 25 words or less
Do we count
to a creature with you are
contractions as one
familiar.
word?
Yeah.
Sick.
The creature hears the message, unless you abuse it, then I will.
Well, yeah, we'll
rescind
get
that.
cute about it.
If it's just all contractions, then fuck
Yeah, we're
you.
doing like emoji talk.
The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. The spell enables creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message. You can send a message across any distance and even to other planes of existence, but if the target is on a different plane than you, there's a 5% chance that the message does not arrive.
What level is
What
that
if
spell?
what if that
It's
dude
a 3rd
is
level spell.
Hey,
What if
I
that
can
dude
cast another
is
spell.
dead? Can you contact him and he'd be like, "No, I'm
Yeah, I'm
dead."
sure you get like a busy signal, or something
or
like
it's
that.
like he's like, "Hey, thanks for trying, but
Yeah,
I'm
the
here
party
in
you're
the
trying to reach
afterlife."
is unavailable.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it instead of it going through and you getting a message, the message you get back is like, "Dun, dun, dun. Your call cannot be completed as dialed."
Please hang
Oh,
up and
man.
try
I
a
haven't heard that
living
in a long
person.
time.
So
yeah.
you'll know.
So wait, do I have that? Can I pull that spellbook out my butt and as it? my
Yeah,
tune?
man.
Yes.
You're like, oh look, the spell in this book.
Yay!
It's
All right,
called
so
sending.
I guess I'll spend a day learning the spell, and then I'll send the message the next day.
Yeah. I mean, so you could use it out of the. I think is that how it works? How long does it take you to? I think you can cast it out of there, but if you wanted to copy it into your own spellbook, I think it takes time.
Yeah,
right?
so I would want to copy it to my own spellbook first, because I don't know if using it out of that spellbook would like get rid of it somehow, or if I can even. Like, I think I can only use things out of scrolls. If it's in a book, I'd have to copy it to mine first.
Let's see. When you find a wizard spell of first level or higher, you can add it to your spell book if it's a level of which you have spell slots, and if you can spare the time to decipher and copy it. For each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold pieces worth of like supplies.
Oh
and
no,
stuff like
50 GP, whatever shall I do?
that. So it's going to take you 6 hours, and it's going to cost you 150 gold pieces.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I
So
have
overall,
that.
to go through a spell, preparing it on your thing, you have to copy the spell, which will take 6 hours, take a long rest, which will take 8 hours, and then prepare the spell, which will take 3 minutes.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't waste all our gold on goblins.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Sweet. Not too long.
I assumed I wouldn't be able to send it to the next day anyway, and I'll probably do the transfer over during the night before we go to bed, and
Yeah.
But this is how you're gonna help, our situation and your situation. How are you gonna help the travel situation?
The travel situation. Well, if it ever fails to be windy, I can use gust of wind, or I can use my int score to help navigate us through the waves.
Stormy
Windy,
seas or something.
windy.
Yeah,
You blow, don't you?
I'm.
Mr. Viz.
All right.
I gusted.
Now
I
you-
know.
Can you
big
roll me a
blowhard,
d20,
you.
please?
Bag of wind.
Wait, can you
Bag of hot air.
repeat that, Tom?
Falyun, roll me a d20.
All right.
It's how many dragons descend upon us.
Okay, a 6. All right, so you guys spend the first evening on the boat. And Ringo's got you guys on a southwesterly direction. You're headed for the Arches. You're gonna pass by Old Bellows. And you're running basically from and everything, I should say,
Yeah.
that's to the north.
This-
Everything that happened at Stormtop with, the demon being summoned, with the dragon being there, with fire breaking out and people fleeing the situation. you guys are on your way. So, is anybody like up at night? Are you guys just sleeping? I mean, you've been on the road for a while. It's probably been exhausting. You do have bunks because you guys have paid for them and such previously on your travels. And you're still within that, you guys are not technically crew members, you're just passengers. So,
I mean, we might as well be crew members at this point.
yeah, I mean, you're not paid. You're paying him.
Yeah.
So, so is there anything that, like, are you guys going to be up doing stuff at night? Or what's the general consensus? I mean, you don't have to tell me exactly what you're up to because we kind of went over that.
Viz will probably be up most nights just because he doesn't really
spells.
sleep much, with the whole meditation thing.
Kenny?
I'll be active on the ship during the day, but I will take the late afternoons and evenings to help Falyuan in the kitchen with dinner, and then after dinner I will be personable, or I'll probably not be, I'll probably just hang out with our group. And then,
Fal, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, during the day I'll be helping the crew and assist Ringo when I can. At night, and obviously, whenever anyone's hungry, I'll do my best to cook.
Okay, so no one's looking to take extra shifts, do this, that, the other thing.
Yeah, Viz will probably just spend most of his time hanging out with Ringo, since it seems like Ringo doesn't do much around the boat also, and Viz doesn't really want to do much around the boat.
Yeah, I mean, Ringo's definitely, being in charge. He's not necessarily, rigging sails and doing things like that. But it's definitely just more like, ordering people around and those type of things. But has a decent amount of time just to hang out too.
Yeah, Viz gets chummy with Ringo during the days.
All right.
Joe, does Kenny speak Elvish?
Yes.
Okay, so tonight, Falyuan would like to make dinner for everyone. And he's a little contemplative tonight, and he brings everyone in close, and he's as we're eating, he says, "Friends," he speaks in Elvish, so that no one else hears. He says, "Friends, comrades, I ask you to please listen and listen well. I count my blessings to be upon you this day, for my father's wisdom rings true the further we go. And there is nothing I would have done differently, nor would I do anything differently in the future. That being said, we must admit that if I keep this up, I will be of no use to you or anyone I bear love for. I may very well die on this journey." I tap my leg. "And Viz, this I ask of you. Should anything happen to me, swear that you'll take care of my mother. Or at the very least, if you cannot do that, then tell her again and again and again until she goes deaf and annoyed that I love her with all that she and the earth have given me."
I will do these things for you, Fal, of course. You needn't even ask.
Thank you.
And don't worry about that leg, buddy. We'll have that patched up. Lickety split.
You'll be back to backflip before you know it.
Yeah, just like my hands, right?
Well, like I said, it takes time, but I've seen
There's
miracles.
more hope for the leg to mend than the hand to magically regrow fingers. So worry not, Fal.
But both apparently aren't outside the realm of possibilities.
There is magic in the world. Never forget. It's capable of incredible things.
It is not that I forget. It's just a matter of getting it in time before whatever.
Well, don't think about the end. Just think about the journey. And we're having a hell of a one now. I know we're bruised and we're battered. It seems a little desperate after, for all intents and purposes, was a loss in Stormtop, with the demon being able to be summoned. But I see this as truly the beginning of our true journey. This is where it starts. Us sailing the seas, taking on these foreign and distant lands, creating creating a light with us wherever we go. I know it seems bad right now, and I know we're all a little tired, but there's going to be good times ahead, as there have been in the past. And we shouldn't forget it, because the second we do, those fucking lynches has already won anyway.
I look at everyone and I'm just saying, you guys are all playing Steal the Rib, and I am the one with all the injuries.
Well, it's time for you to steal some ribs then, my friend.
Very true.
So, is there anything that you're suggesting, Falyuan?
For Billy Bob to do a better job.
He's like, hey man, I've been healing.
I know.
I know when I can.
appreciate it.
Try.
I don't know.
I'm
We'll
just
think of
not
something.
good at fighting. I'm okay. Just, trying my best.
Yeah, but what was your name, Billy Bob? What was your name, Billy Bob? The full thing?
The
Oh, I
extraordinaire.
mean, yeah, I'm cleric extraordinaire.
And fighting and healing both kind of not your thing.
Well, I mean, great at healing. You've seen problems with that?
He's great at healing. Don't bash his healing. He's worth
It
every
It would
penny
be
we
nice.
spend. It's,
It would be nice to have someone in the front lines with me.
Yeah, it's not his fault that we're taking on giant axe-wielding orcs. Inevitably, one of their attacks are going to go through, and yeah, that happens.
It's
in
like,
these
well, you
points
guys
of
got
your
enough to charter a boat. I mean, you could probably hire somebody else.
Sorry, Billy Bob. I don't mean to take my anger out on you.
We are a little squishy.
Been a little-
It's true.
It's been a little tense.
But Kenny's been helping, being in bear form now. He's a rather sturdy target as well.
We could also hire someone in the archers, I suppose.
A sellsword, a man who can take a hit or two, someone in plate mail. Or a woman.
Well,
I'm not discriminating.
considering a gunslinger looks like
Bob Dylan.
he caught the plague of the zombie a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe maybe someone who slings guns might be in order, or perhaps a bow user or something.
No, we
No,
need
no.
someone who can take hits.
Falyuan's like,
We don't need anyone else who can
We
be doing
we have
damage
enough of
from
you
a
guys in the
distance.
back.
so you guys, as you're talking, you hear a bang
Where, outside?
from above deck.
All right, Viz will run up deck.
Well,
It's
like a cannon bang or like a shot bang?
Like a rifle. Bang.
Oh shit! All right, I I hobble upstairs.
Kenny?
I'll run and grab my repeater from my footlocker and follow everybody else upstairs.
All right. So you guys run basically up the small stairs to the top of the deck. And there's some shit going on above deck.
What? What time of day is it by now?
It's the middle of the night.
Oh shit.
And you see these enormous bird-like creatures streaking down onto the deck occasionally. And on their backs, you hear these men shouting in Elven.
Oh fuck.
And
they
you can
red?
see oh yes, they are. And you can see the men, the pirates on the deck. They're scrambling for firearms and stuff, and like trying to take pot shots. But it's dark and it's really hard to see. And you can tell, at this point, there really isn't any diplomacy that's happening. It's more just like it seems like these things are attacking.
Viz is going to shoot up a minor illusion into the sky for the Elven word for peace. And then he's going to start climbing up the mast and yelling to the riders to say, "We are friends, riders," in Elven.
All right, make me a persuasion check.
Oh man.
Do any of them look like Ecker?
Shit.
You can't really. It's too. Or do you have dark vision by any chance?
I don't know if half elves do. They may have.
We
low
have,
light.
I think, low light, but not dark.
Yeah, it's pretty dark out, so you can't. You have no idea. Viz, you don't notice any like stopping or anything like that.
I repeat
and-
again. I guess I'll do it again.
I will say that I think that's the perfect place for us to end
Oh
for the
shit!
evening. You know, it's just it's
Oh wait,
a few
wait,
minutes.
wait! Let me do something since.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I want to rack a bullet into chamber and aim at this guy.
All right. Do you want to fire,
Or
or do you want to leave it just there?
No, just aiming, because I do have dark vision. So if he's within 60 feet, I can see him.
All right. But I think that's the perfect place to end it. The middle of the
Sweet.
night. There's a little bit of a griffin raid happening out on the boat.
Goddamn
Tune in,
Lunwar Griffin Knights.
Same,
Right?
same bat channel, same bat time.
And at that,
Noon to 5.
we're gonna, that's the end of the session. Thank you, Twitch, for tuning in. This has been another session of Quest Hook. We're
Yeah.
here
Thanks for coming, guys.
every Sunday. We try and do this. We missed last week, but we usually
Sorry, it was my anniversary.
yeah.
You know,
Tom was doing awesome
gonna
shit,
happen.
so it's you guys
Um,
have to deal with that
but-
sometimes.
we'll pick it up next week,
And then the week after that, I will be gone.
and we'll still play.
I'll
we hate you.
be here.
We'll still play because fuck you,
Well,
Jeff.
Yeah, we hope you
Well,
guys come
Nate,
back.
well-
We keep
Well,
the
fuck
VODs up
all of you,
for
and good night.
yeah. No, Joey. We keep the VODs up for 60 days, I believe, so you can come back and watch them or tell some people if you like us.
Bring your
Hi,
friends.
Hi, friends.
We like to our final pitch before everyone goes is we like this is an interactive world we're building. So if you guys have ideas or if you want to see things
Yeah.
or you want things to exist here, we are building a world where that will exist and be canon in all of the backstory we're writing, you know.
As long as it's cool.
Well, yeah, I mean we're not gonna like
Well, yeah.
make everyone like
So,
butt
but there-
demons.
there-
Although
there
can we
is
make
some-
everyone butt
It's
demons?
one of the- No, it's one of those
some-
things where it's like, you know, where like the teacher's like, there's no bad questions. Like, yeah, there's no wrong answers, but
And then Billy
there's a
asked
few
a
wrong
stupid
answers.
question.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Like, shut up, Billy. That was a dumb
Don't
question.
be an ass, Billy.
Um,
That is not a pertinent suggestion to the group, Billy.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can go
But
back and
within
sleep
reason,
or eat paste.
We're open to pretty much anything.
But yeah,
butt
thank
demons.
you again, and we will see you all next week.
Indeed.
Quest Hook out.
Good night.